Hey everybody, it is day 3 of the 21-day video challenge, and today I'm going to talk about self-compassion. I am going through a 8-week creativity immersion with my friend Adam. He is facilitating it, leading us through the book by Christine Neff. Neff is a researcher into self-compassion. The exercise that we had to do today was the self-compassion test. And you would think that I've been on this journey for over 15 years now of building up a positive mindset. I'm always looking for tools of empowerment to be more resilient, to be able to face the challenges, the ups and downs of life. I think that I'm very self-compassionate. I am very kind and compassionate to others, but when it comes to myself, I am not. I am my own worst critic. I beat myself up. I value my sense of worth on if I succeed or fail at something. Self-compassion is a practice. We are not taught how to be compassionate with ourselves. So it's not natural. We need intentional practices. And I realized how much really I need self-compassion practices after taking this evaluation today, because my overall score was 1.99. And according to that, a score of 1 to 2.5 of overall self-compassion score indicates you are relatively low in self-compassion. So I'm like, okay. My subscale scores, self-kindness was 2.0, common humanity was 1.75, mindfulness was 2.25, self-judgment 3.80, isolation 4.0, over-identification is 4.25. Higher scores for self-judgment, isolation, and over-identification subscales indicate less self-compassion. It really gave me an indication of I should probably join the self-compassion community. I thought I'd get on here today and share that. I need more love, more self-compassion. I wrote down a few little notes that I want to share with you. Self-compassion itself is the ability to wish ourselves kindness and ease of suffering when we're facing challenges. What can those challenges be? Challenges can be just like in regular life circumstances, but actually in the pain of our emotional states. And that's what really drew me to this work. Because I've always had struggles with emotional regulation. It just seems like, my emotions are what rule me and rule my state of mind. And I wanted a better way to, I don't want to say control them, because I found we cannot control our emotions, but we can control how we relate to them and not let them overpower us. And I feel like for me, the practices of meditation and mindfulness have been able to create this buffer where I can better relate to emotions and be able to see them for what they are, emotions and thoughts, and not identifying with emotions and thoughts. The benefits of a self-compassion practice are you can go through challenges in life more easily. There's less stress, anxiety, and depression, and more mindful. You're more mindful and aware of your feelings. I think the biggest thing to me is to bring the awareness that challenges are a part of the human experience. This is normal human stuff, as one of my mentors would always say. So the challenges that we go through, we're not in this alone. And I could see and relate to that on a large, like I knew that concept, But until I really got into this self-compassion material, I didn't quite, it just took on a new light. It took on a new, like light bulbs would go off in my mind, like, oh yeah. Because when I would experience challenges, I would be like, that's human. Everybody goes through these kind of challenges. So it made me feel like I'm not the only one struggling. I'm not the only one suffering. Everyone else struggles through this too. And it's okay. And just that thought brought me comfort. And I didn't beat myself up like I would, because I'm very good at criticizing myself. Self-compassion practices that we can do. One of the biggest ones I thought was very effective for me was a prayer that we can say. And the first thing we do is put our hands on our hearts. And just this action alone has been shown to lower our cortisol. So what that means is it lowers stress. It releases the feel-good neurochemicals within our bodies. So it's just this, and taking a breath and saying the prayer that when we're suffering or in a moment of challenge, this is a moment of suffering, and realizing it for what it is. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. And that's a prayer by Kristen Neff that she shared, and I've used it. And again, just recognizing that this is a moment of suffering, and recognizing for what it is, not trying to blame, not trying to point fingers, not trying to find out, oh my God, I don't feel good and why, being aware of it. With that, the next practice is practice mindfulness, bringing awareness to the thoughts, which kind of goes with that prayer. But we can start doing mindfulness practices, meditation practices, just being aware of thoughts, emotions, and feelings that we're feeling during the day. And when I say being mindful of them, just realizing and noting. She talks about noting. So what that is noting the thought, noting the emotion for what it is. How are you feeling? Where is it in your body? What are you thinking? Is it self-judgment? If it is, okay, just note it. If you're feeling sad, you're sad. Feeling grief, note it. If it's anxiety, it is anxiety. Just leave it be. Just note it and just love it for what it is. And just be okay with it. There's no shame in it. I used to always associate a really deep feeling of defeat with the emotions that I was feeling. How come I can't be stronger than these emotions? It was almost like they're always doing battle with me. And I realized that it's okay to have these emotions. And being strong is just sitting with them. That's the strength. That's where you have the strength. And then finally, a self-compassion practice that I recommend is a loving kindness meditation. There's all kinds of loving kindness meditations out on YouTube. I think I might have one recorded somewhere. If I find it on here, I'll link it below. But it's really just sitting and actually giving yourself loving kindness, free from suffering, wishes of well-being, wishes of peace, joy, happiness, bringing it to yourself, bringing it to a loved one, and just sitting and basking in that energy. It can be so empowering. It helps to build resiliency through those challenging times in life, and through the challenging times that we have within ourselves. Empowering practice. I believe so much in it. I believe that I need more of the practices based on my self-scores today. And I'm hoping to really dive into some more of those practices and more of the concepts behind them with you here. So thank you for joining me today, and keep following along this 21-day journey, because who knows what I'm going to be putting out tomorrow. Love you guys. See you in the next one.